Oh, this mofo. He can sing like nobody else. Hell, that mofo, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You can check all that on that, and you'll see how great. Oh, he's one of the greatest. Yeah. Hey! Welcome back again, y'all, to a Mr. Raider episode. Love ya. Thank you for following. But here we go. Speaking about following, how about friends? People taking care of people, babies. You know me and my let's weave ourselves into the fabric of either your immediate neighborhood. Oh, by the way, I call it keeping it good in the hood, is weaving your fabric into the fabric of America, because it starts in your hood. You keep it good in your hood, and I don't care how ugly that hood could be, man. You got one person saying, hey, man, let's keep this good in the hood, and that go ahead, you know, people go ahead, and that gets contagious, right? Especially if that one person is somebody of stature in that neighborhood that wants to make sure everybody else understands that, man, hey, we're weaving ourselves into this neighborhood. But what those people don't understand, when we're weaving that stuff into our neighborhoods and creating great relationships in those neighborhoods, now you get to the point that you're building friendships for life. You're building bonds. Bonds. Think about this. We're building bonds. We're bonding. When you bond, man, hey, man, that's a great thing. Now, I don't care that some buck that I lived with in my neighborhood for 15 years moves somewhere else. Guess what? Because we're trying to keep it good in the hood, we wove that bond in our neighborhood, and this movo moves like 300 miles away. Guess what happens to that keeping it good in the hood bond does? My good friends that moved there because we kept it good in our hood, when they moved 300 miles away, they started that program in that neighborhood. 300 miles away, we're still keeping it good in the hood. But you know what the greatest thing is? Because of the bond in that neighborhood that my friends happened to move to 300 miles away, because we were family here, because when you build that bond, speaking of family, blood is thicker than water might not be the truest fact in the history of this world. Maybe the truest fact of the history of this world in terms of friendship. I've stuck with friends thicker than I've stuck with some of my family, because you know how families go, and we all know that. Every family is a little dysfunctional. But you know what? When you build that bond with the people in your neighborhood, that you become family in those neighborhoods, because this is all weaving ourselves back into the fabric of America, man. Okay, you build those bonds. We love each other. When is America going to get back to loving each other through these bonds and friendship? All right, right now, in terms of all these things I'm talking about, I built some great friendships throughout my life. I built friendships that, I don't know how many of y'all can do this. I probably have 50, no, that's not even true. I know over 100 people that I know, not just in this community, but throughout my life, that I can actually tell them I love them. And you know what? Part of this is through the youth community, that I am so fortunate to be able to represent the youth community of St. George, Utah, where I live, that I'm speechless. And if you watch my stuff, I don't get speechless very often. But the privilege to be able to be out there and officiate the kids that I'm able to officiate, that helps me weave myself into the fabric of what I do. It's not about money for me. Never has been. All of what I do with these kids, actually, I could have been doing so many other things, but now I officiate, and I've been working at a restaurant, and we all know how that goes, the restaurant business. So right now, there's no officiating really going on, and it's hard on all of us. And we want to talk about weaving ourselves into the fabric of America in terms of sports, because this all circles back to what I'm talking about. I haven't lost track tonight. I'm just talking about how this all equates if you do the simple math about how all this goes on because of the epidemic and all that stuff. But we're just getting back to these kids that can't even play sports now. Any of these people that in our fabric of America, the sport aspect of the fabric of America, and tell you all that we're just casual fans, those of us that's what we do, and that's something that's been woven into the fabric of the community that we're in, because when you're woven into the sports community in your area, people don't realize how tight-knit that community is. And that community, that sports community, for that team that actually plays Little League and whatever, it's just tight. When you're playing travel ball, that little tight-knit community, guess what? You're weaving yourself into the fabric of what we do. Sports and everything else we do as Americans, everybody looks at the newscast in the evening looking for a sports program, right? On your local news. Hell, they're showing Korean baseball, right? To just give us, and then, you know. But this is all getting back to the fabric of our country. We need to keep thinking that whether it's music that bonds us, whether it's our neighborhood that bonds us, whether it's our political party that bonds us, whether it's just because I work with you, it bonds us. These are the bonds that build us every day. And that's why they're called bonds. I don't want to call them relationships. You need to make bonds with the people you work with. Because when you do make bonds with the people that you work with, holy moly, how much stronger is that business when you're bonding that business than we're just having relationships at that business? Because guess what? When you're bonding, we're all good. We're thinking the same thoughts. We're in the same frame of mind. But when we have relationships, somebody wants to be better than somebody else that thinks that they need to be higher than you were because of this and this and this. That's not what this country needs to be about. We need to be about weaving, and making sure when we're working all together, no other country in the world can be woven like the United States of America when we choose to be woven. The fabric is there. The folks that need to do the necessary labor that's there to weave us, we're already there. We've already done that. But we've allowed a certain amount of people to let us know we haven't done that, because this has been going on since John F. Kennedy to weave us, and we're still trying to break the weaving seam. That's what's going on with mainstream media right now. They're trying to see that we don't keep weaving ourselves to make ourselves as strong as we need to be. And unfortunately, we might be trying to believe that. I don't believe that we're those people. Do you know what I believe? I believe we're those people because the neighborhoods I've come from, yes, we've woven ourselves into those situations. Anywhere I've gone, we've tried to weave ourselves into the fabric of the community. So my point is, I don't care where you live, what neighborhood you're in, what economic group you're in, what status you're in. It's called keeping it good in the hood. Keep it good in your neighborhood, please. Just start there. And when you keep it good in your hood, it spreads and it goes, okay? You know what's funny? In the state of Massachusetts, do you know what they say make good neighbors? Good walls, good fences. I was like, damn, I get that, but I don't. Why can't we all just get to know each other and make sure we take care of each other right in our neighborhood? Especially this time where we're going through right now. This is where I'm getting to. People that love people need to be taking care of people, because I have good people that have helped me out through my tough times. We need people taking good care of their people that they're friends with that need help right now in their tough times. And guess what? I'm guilty of this right now, because I had an issue this weekend with somebody I went to help out and they let me down for a minute. Guess what? They didn't let me down because you know why? If you don't have expectations of people, they don't let you down. But you know what? You don't need to expect anything out of anybody. People need help right now. People in this day and time, with us weaving ourselves into this fabric, all of us that are doing better than others, you need to help those out that weren't. Right now, I've been a little fortunate that I'm better off than some of my friends. And some of these people I see walking around St. George that I know that because the shelter is shut down, they don't have anywhere else to go. I know, I see them. I try to give them a couple bucks just so that they can have maybe food each day. Okay, I wish more of us would do that. But that's what we need to do in our neighborhoods. When we see these people, hey, you think somebody's homeless because they chose to be? I don't believe that, especially in this day and age when a lot of people can get work. Some of them may just have an issue with being socially challenged. Do you know how many socially challenged there are amongst us? In our world, if you have money and come from where you're doing okay, socially challenged, they're gonna go ahead and medicate you. But because you go to your doctor and they give you the medication, that's all good, right? But what happens to those poor people that get to go ahead and have the same diagnosis that those people, and these people are, you know, homeless and whatever because they've had these issues and this is why they're homeless and this is why they're in the situation they're in. What kind of medical resources do they have? And when they do go get help, I swear to goodness, we've seen it too many times before. They're like, well, hey man, this is why, because no, they're not going in there to ask you. You know, they're telling you this is why you're coming to see us, is because you're homeless and no. These people actually really need help. This is why they're homeless. Because maybe some of them, I know people that have had great jobs. I know people that held down certain positions that you people wouldn't even think about that are homeless, because you know why? You've never been in their situation. Some of you people have never lived in that point in life. But my point is, they've woven themselves into the fabric of our country, into who we are. And how do we forget those people, okay? Because a lot of them are our good friends. All I'm gonna say is, let's keep weaving this fabric, keep it where it needs to be, and we're gonna weave, not stitch. And if you do that every day in your lives, and we do this as Americans, we'll be able to be who we need to be. I'm Mr. Raider, and I'm through.
He's gone. He's never gone.
I went everywhere. You know what I mean? It was. I just sit here and do what I do because I love what I do. I love that I have this platform. My ADD, y'all, I'm just going to be honest. My ADD, that's what sends me there, and there. That's why some of you that have ADD, it's not an attention deficit disorder. Do you know what it is? In school, man, if it wasn't something that I wasn't interested in, I had a hard time focusing on it. But now when I get to where I'm at right here and I need to get a message out, I have so much information going through this, my files. Man, they come out too quick sometimes, and I apologize. You know what? If I need to slow it down for y'all, I will. But for y'all that can take it, I love you, and thank you for letting me be myself.
Oh, shit.